Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think that we are all in agreement that the hottest spot in Ukraine, in the fight between Russia and the Ukrainian and Western forces is Bakhmut. Bakhmut, where the Russians currently conduct an offensive and they are advancing. The Ukrainians are trying to obviously minimize the reality, and for good reasons, and obviously the Russians try to maximize their success. I have here an article that comes from an Ukrainian source, Ukrinform, from today, the 23rd of December 2022, and obviously put your Ukrainian lens on, so realizing that information will be provided by Ukraine. If that would be coming from the Russian source, then you put the Russian glasses on, or the filter. So this is the title: Bakhmut direction. Ukraine forces exerting massive, I was like exiting, what the hell is that? Exerting massive pressure on enemy troops, applying smart defensive tactics. Now this is a very weasel talk. I mean, you can observe. They exert massive pressure on enemy troops, applying smart defensive tactics. So basically I can redo this and say Ukrainians are trying to repel the massive Russian attack, and they're good at it. That's basically what happens. The Ukrainians are in a defensive position and they're doing a good job according to these guys. But see how they exerting massive pressure while they're losing. Because when you retreat, when those guys are in offensive, you're in a defensive. You're not winning, are you? And then applying smart defense tactics. That's good. Let's see what those tactics are. Maybe we get something to learn here. In the Luhansk direction, the Russian army is constantly under pressure from Ukraine's defense forces. So the Russians who are attacking are under pressure, not the ones who defend are under pressure. So let's say we fight and I attack you, bam, bam, and you go back and you go back and you punch and you... Who's putting pressure on whom? I'm putting pressure, the one who goes back into the ropes or going back, that's the one who puts pressure, or the one who attacks? I mean, come on now, we're not tards, are we? I mean, really. Now, and that's defensive forces. All right. This was reported by the spokesman of the Eastern Group of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Serhiy Charevati, who spoke at the National TED-thon, and Ukraine correspondent respond. I don't know about telethon. What is too small? Like TED-thon? What the hell? Telethon. According to Chervati, the Luhansk direction is the third most affected area in terms of severity and intensity of fighting, after Bakhmut and Avdiivka. The so-called Kadyrovats, who usually perform gendarmerie functions, gendarmerie, I don't know what that word is, gendarmerie, that's how it was, a gendarmerie functions, do not rush into the front line units. So Russia is transferring to Luhansk region new units, replenishing with fresh mobilized soldiers, trying to build up defense lines. From a different article that I just made a video on, actually it says that the Russians are bringing more troops to show the Ukrainians and the Western backers that this is war. It's not a military operation anymore or special operation, this is war. So they just upped a notch their pressure. That means they brought some more troops, more weapons by train, and we'll see what happens now. If they will have some success, they will keep going with this with minimum losses, they hope. If not, they will get a little bit higher again, a new mobilization, I don't know, about 200,000 more people, and so on, until they get maybe, and I hope not, to the 30 million that they have capable to serve. So that would be a total general mobilization, 30 million or so, and they fight with what, about 300,000 people? You can imagine how much pressure Russia puts with 300,000 people, and it needs to put against the whole Ukrainian defensive system, plus who knows what other weasels are over there. Anyway, let's see what's going on over here. However, I'm quoting, however, we stop all their attempts at counterattack with a harsh rebuff. As a rule, it's about powerful artillery strike of MLRS systems and, if necessary, counterattack. Our missile troops and artillery engage them every day, trying to constantly destroy their field ammo depots. 2 of them were hit that day. I know what day that day. We destroy command posts and enemy clusters. That's why the enemy is constantly under our pressure. Good, end quote. The spokesman of the Eastern Group of the Armed Forces emphasized. According to the spokesperson, Bakhmut remains the hottest part of the front. Throughout the past day alone, 266 enemy strikes with all types of artillery, MLRS systems and tanks were recorded in the Bakhmut direction, and more than 15 combat clashes took place. The invaders lost more than 100 men and about 2 KIA and about 200 WIA. And I'm quoting, most often they just mindlessly throw people into battle, grinders, losing manpower and combat equipment while gaining several tens of meters. See, they admit those guys are attacking. They are advancing, just a few. Now imagine that's a mile or 2 or 3. And then they maximize, they throw people into mindlessly, losing manpower and combat equipment while gaining just a few things. Just a few meters, centimeters, like this. We have mobile defense there in Donetsk region, the so-called smart defense, in order to inflict maximum damage while minimizing own losses and preventing a systematic breakthrough of the enemy, Cherevati said. According to the official, the front is flexible in the Bakhmut direction. This, and I'm quoting, this means that when the dynamics of the fighting are like this, sometimes it is wiser for some units to withdraw. Wait! Hold it right there. The same guys reported, remember when the Russians withdrew across the Dnieper River, right? On the left side, remember that one? And they said, well, the Russians are running, we push them back, losers, we winning. And the Russians said, no, actually we just rearranging our defensive positions. For later, we just give you now some room here, and then we're going to hit you over there while you're over there, and we are on the other side of the river. No, that's unacceptable. No, they're lying. They just run away. They're too scared. They're losing. We're winning. Now, it seems like when they do it, it's not that. When they do it, they do something else. They just, sometimes it's wiser to some units to withdraw. Oh, that's only valid for you, but the Russians is not valid. For the Russian was not valid when they say it, right? Right. All right, regroup so that later there will be an opportunity to run combat operation, not like Russians do. Why? Because they're idiots? Yes, that's what they try to put in our hard heads. Noted the spokesman for the Eastern Group of Armed Forces. That's unbelievable. Sometimes it is wiser for some units to withdraw, regroup, so that later there will be an opportunity to run combat operations. Correct. Not like the Russians do. Jesus Christ. As reported by Ukrinform, Ukraine's defense forces have already eliminated 100,950 Russian invaders since the full-scale invasion occurred. Okay, I don't think it was full-scale invasion, because they would have employed about 30 million people and everything, and you would have been dead in about a week with all the support of your masters. That's what I think, and I keep saying that because I know a few things, and it's not hard to verify that by just reading a little bit. That's the first thing. Just read a little bit, do a little clicks, and you find out the military capability of Russian forces. And after you read a little bit and you find different kind of locations with the information, you realize that the Russians are not full in. They are using the pinky. That's how much. And now, okay, well, you guys brought everything in, including this kitchen sink. Oh, we're gonna use 3 fingers now. That's all. and see if it's going to work with the three fingers. Remember the partial mobilization? And if that's not going to work, they're going to bring a fist. And if that's not going to work, they bring another fist. And if not, they're going to get a right leg, and then the left leg, and the head, and then the elbows, and then the koken, and the shuto, and all that. All right? Little by little. But I don't think the Russians will get that point. I think the economic pressure, the winter, the killing of the population, of the Ukrainian army, systematically will just eliminate them. That's the word, unfortunately. Eliminate them. And then you have the masters who are just staying over there and saying, what can we do to send our troops somehow under some legal weasel term? Hey, peacekeepers. Or advisors. Or inspectors. The two categories are already over there. Legally, we are inspecting the deliveries of the weapons that we send. About 1,000 people, supposedly. And then we are just military advisor. We just stay over there at the front, unarmed, and say, hey, I don't know, Vladimir, or whatever you are, Serhi, you put it over there, yes, you turn it over there, push that button, not that button, the other one, yeah, and then you do that, and then you push over there. Remember, with a translator. And then, no, I can't touch it. Oh, the Russians are shooting. I can't defend myself. I'm just going to take it. That's what we are supposed to believe. It happens on the front with the military advisors, or they just are in a hall, and they in a classroom, and they teach them what to do, and it's okay. I'm just going to teach you a little bit of this, and this, a bit this, and this, and this. If you believe that, as I always say, give me some $20,000 now, and I will give it to you back tomorrow with a 3,000% interest. Oh my God, you're going to get rich. 3,000% interest, compound interest, by tomorrow. And I will meet you tomorrow, and I will give it to you back. Oh, you won't do that? Or you're not that naive? Okay, all right, but you're naive to believe that those advisors are over there just to... Okay, and those inspectors, yes, one HIMARS, yes, going to be operated by Ukrainians. Yes, the crew is right here, trained and very able. Give me the money. Give me the 20,000. I give it to you tomorrow. As I said, 3,000% interest, not 3% or 4, 3,000. Or if you want 3,000,000%, I will give you. Because you're not going to see me tomorrow. Guaranteed. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.